Listen, nobody sits beginners down and gives them the straight truth. It usually costs years of your life and a whole lot of money to figure this stuff out. So consider this explainer your gritty reality check. And we're taking 8 years of grueling market lessons and condensing them into a no-fluff masterclass. We're going to completely strip away the noise, focus on the raw fundamentals, and learn exactly what it takes to survive your first year as a trader. Okay, here's our syllabus for today. 1. The harsh reality. 2. The surgeon's mindset. 3. Rookie traps. 4. Capital defense. 5. The professional journal. 6. The trading flywheel. Now, I want to be crystal clear right up front. We are here today to build indestructible habits, not to chase lucky profits. If you're hunting for some get-rich-quick scheme, you're definitely in the wrong place. But if you want to build a long-term foundation, let's dive in. Section 1. The harsh reality, surviving your first few years in the market. First things first, you've got to completely strip away all those toxic illusions fed to beginners by social media and unregulated brokers. Let me walk you through the actual grueling timeline of a professional. Year 1, they lost money, and honestly had absolutely no idea why. By year 2, they slowly started understanding the game, and it wasn't until year 5 that they actually built a consistent system. Look, here's what nobody tells you. The markets can actually reward you incredibly fast for entirely the wrong reasons. You might win 3 trades in a row by pure luck and start thinking, wow, I'm the next Warren Buffett. But those fast profits, they just breed dangerous overconfidence. You increase your size, you skip your rules, and you just keep going until the market violently corrects that illusion. And trust me, the market doesn't owe you a thing. Section 2. The surgeon's mindset. How to stay calm when losing. We need to pivot to the psychology of trading now, specifically how to handle those inevitable frequent losing trades without completely spiraling. I really want you to ask yourself this direct question. Does a great surgeon save every single patient? No, of course not. But we still let them operate, right? We still trust them with our lives. Why is that? Well, it's because we don't judge them on any one single outcome. We judge them on their process, their training, and their decision-making under intense pressure. Trading works exactly the same way. You literally have to decouple your execution process from the immediate outcome of a single trade. The absolute most crucial point is this. A losing trade that actually followed all your rules is a good trade. Seriously. But a winning trade where you threw your rules right out the window? That's a bad trade, even if you made money. The outcome of one single trade tells you almost nothing about the quality of your decision-making. You should never, ever feel ashamed of a loss. Be ashamed of repeating the exact same mistake. Once you start focusing purely on flawless execution, you'll stop beating yourself up after a loss, and you'll stop feeling invincible after a win. Section 3. 3 rookie traps. What sabotages long-term growth? All right, let's move into the warning phase of this explainer. We need to pinpoint the specific behaviors that will absolutely destroy a new trader's long-term potential. You have got to be aware of these 3 rookie traps. Trap number 1, strategy hopping, also known as the Holy Grail trap. This is when traders run a strategy for maybe 3 weeks, hit a rough patch, and just abandon it entirely. But no strategy works in a straight line. You have to backtest and stick to an edge. Trap number 2, information overload. Imagine a table covered with 100 keys, but only one actually opens the door. Beginners try to grab all 100, testing every single indicator they can find on YouTube. Having more keys doesn't open the door any faster. Trap number 3, overtrading, the death spiral. You take a loss, get desperate, and just force more trades with lower and lower quality setups. Your decision quality literally degrades with volume. A real professional has a hard daily limit, 1 or 2 trades max, and then they close the laptop. You really need to make a massive mental shift when it comes to curiosity versus discipline. Look, in almost every other area of life, curiosity is an incredible asset, but in trading, it becomes an incredibly dangerous distraction. If you're spending 90% of your time consuming new information, you're only spending 10% actually practicing. Compare that to discipline. And I don't mean willpower, because willpower completely evaporates after a heavy loss. Discipline has to be a hard, defined architecture. Your rules must be totally non-negotiable, zero room for interpretation. If your setup requires 5 conditions and you only see 4, you wait. No exceptions whatsoever. Section 4. Capital Defense. Protecting your financial and mental accounts. Now we're shifting to defensive strategy, because your primary goal in year 1 isn't to make money, it's simply to survive the learning curve long enough to actually learn. Think about this analogy for a second. You don't drive on a busy highway, do you? No, you start in an empty parking lot. So why on earth does everyone want to learn to trade with real money and real pressure right from day 1? When you start big, the pressure of real losses completely hijacks your brain. You start making wild decisions based purely on fear and hope. You absolutely have to start with small capital. Mistakes in year 1 aren't optional, they're mandatory. The only variable is how much those mistakes are going to cost you, so keep them incredibly cheap. To build our defense, we've got to redefine what it actually means to be in the market. Beginners have this incredible anxiety that sitting out a session means they're missing out on money. But cash is a position. Staying on the sidelines when conditions aren't perfectly right is an active, highly intelligent decision. Sometimes the market just isn't offering anything. Sitting and simply recognizing that is a massive victory. And here's exactly why cash is so vital. You're actually managing 2 different accounts. Yes, you have your financial capital, the money sitting right there in your broker account, but running right alongside it is your mental capital. That's your psychological state, your ability to think clearly, your objective clarity. When you force bad trades on bad days, you're not just losing money, you're actively draining your mental account. You're going to start the very next day frustrated and second-guessing everything. Protecting your mental capital is exactly what gives you the clarity you need when a real high-probability setup finally appears. Section 5. The Professional Journal. How to record daily results. This brings us to your ultimate homework assignment. This is the core non-negotiable daily habit you need to fix your mistakes and actually achieve consistent improvement. Imagine reading a textbook, tossing it in the trash, and never looking at your notes again. Honestly, that's what most traders do. They take a trade, they log the results, and they move on. Zero reflection. Instead, I want you to use this exact 3-column template after every single trade. Column 1, why did I enter? Write down the exact, precise conditions that were met. Column 2, how did I feel? Were you calm? Anxious? Was it a revenge trade? Trust me, your emotional state often explains the decision way better than the chart. Column 3, what did I learn? Write down one single concrete takeaway for next time. This tight, disciplined review cycle is literally the only true growth loop that works in the financial markets. Execute, review, fix, repeat. Over weeks and months of doing this, patterns are going to emerge. You'll see exactly which emotional states lead to your absolute worst losses and which specific rules you keep breaking. If you can't articulate clearly why you entered a trade in that journal, you're just gambling. You're not trading. Section 6. The Trading Flywheel. Building Long-Term Consistency. We're bringing this masterclass to its climax now. Let's look at how mastering probability and risk management creates an absolutely unstoppable momentum. Let's map out this trading flywheel effect. Remember, there's no certainty in trading, only probability. Every single trade is an independent event. But when you keep your risk consistent on every trade and actually follow your architecture, incredible things start to happen. When your mental capital is stable, you make better decisions. Better decisions lead to better trades. Better trades slowly but inevitably grow your account. That growing account builds your confidence, and then that confidence feeds right back into stabilizing your mental state. It's definitely not a straight line, and it's certainly not fast. But this compounding loop, that's what real professional trading actually looks like. So here is the hard truth. The rules of the market haven't changed. They're exactly the same. The only question is, do you have the discipline to actually follow them? I'm challenging you today to abandon that gambler's mindset forever. Embrace the hard, unglamorous work of building your architecture and stop expecting the market to owe you anything. Keep your losses small, fiercely protect your mental capital, and let the probabilities do the heavy lifting over time. The playbook is right here in this explainer. Now what are you going to do with it?